Hmm. Testing. Oh, wait. There we go. Testing. All right. Testing, testing. All right. Let me make sure I get everything together. Pretty sure I do. Turn that down a little bit. Am I too loud? I can just talk softer too, but no. Okay, give me a sec. Questions. Mm-hmm. All right. Hello, hello. I'm Boxcat. Welcome in. So we're playing in a new Otome game demo today. So this is a game. I don't know. Like I'm debating, should I make my intro longer or should I go straight to the game? I'm nervous, okay? But when am I not? So, but yes. So I've been doing a lot of preparation for today, or even this week. And one of the new things I'm gonna try to implement is doing an interview type thing with the dev. So I sent out some questions to the dev and had them fill them in. So I'll be answering those questions here on stream after I go through the page. And yes, I have a fan. You know, it makes me feel better, okay? Which speaking of, you know I love the whole reincarnated genre into like otome games or visual novels. And this is going to be one of them. So let's take a look at the game. All right. So the game of the name, no. The name of the game is Saintess of the Golden Bow. It's created by Transparent Games, who have actually done two other games we did on stream. Let me just show that now, actually, since I'm mentioning it. So we did Twisted Carnival and Tears of a Mermaid on stream a while back. So I actually didn't know they worked on this. So that was a cool surprise. But they have a bunch of other games they worked on here, as you can see. So those are games you might want to check out. But let's go back to today's game. All right. So, I survived my death event in a web novel and steal the role of the savior from the main character. I'm a normal American office worker obsessed with Korean web novels and comics. One day, I get into an accident and die, only to be reincarnated as an extra in one of my favorite books. A BL tragedy fantasy novel. I'd read that. I'm supposed to die in this world too, so I can be part of the main character's tragic backstory as his lost love. But I won't lose my life again. So I survived my death event. However, my unexpected survival causes a butterfly effect in the story, and suddenly I replace the main character of the novel and become the Saintess of the Golden Bow. Like, that part there actually, like, I've seen, like, the whole, like, reincarnates and survive aspect I've seen many times, but it seems they're taking it a step further and, like, in the game, uh, putting themselves as the, taking the place of the heroine. So that's cool. As the savior of the realm, I embark on a quest to defeat the Demon Queen. Accompanied by Levi, my valiant knights, and the original saints, the Mad Prince, Noah, and the High Priest Elijah. How many more times will I have to avoid death before I can bring peace to the realm again? And as I said, Saintess of the Golden Bow is an Otome fantasy visual novel with character death and light BL themes, but only in its original novel. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind playing if there was BL themes. I have no issue with that. But no, this one looks like it's gonna be fun. So I've been interested in this. Okay, so again, this is the demo. I think they said it's about an hour long. Yeah, okay, branching narrative. 3 handsome love interests. 6 beautifully colored CGs. Color character sprites for most of the cast. Nice, nice. And for when the full game is released, roots for every love interest with multiple endings. Over 20 CGs. Ooh, nice. That's a good amount. 300k words of a beautifully crafted story. 30 hours, nice. Knowing me, it'll turn into 50. Alright, but let's meet the characters. We have Celeste, who I guess is us. Yes. So, original name, Celine. So that would be our character, the MC. Levy the Knights, shy but loyal, cute. Oh, he developed an unrequited love for Saras. Ooh, I love those themes. Now add like a love triangle, and you know we got it. We got Noah, the Mad Prince, who is confident and possessed with a snarky sense of humor. Better known as the Mad Prince. I think I said that. Last character of love interests is the High Priest, Elijah. He's a high priest, head of the church, god of lights, and enigmatic. Oh, I should probably say who they were voiced from. So Elijah is voiced by Conrivas? Am I saying that right? Noah, Jay Portillo, and Lavi Chang, or N Chang. Celeste, Velor. Alright, and got some other little characters here. I don't know if we're seeing them in the story or not. The demo. But we might. Then we have everyone who worked on the game here. quite a long list. So, oh, there is the names. So, there is that. I'm debating on should I read them or not because I know that's going to take a long time. All right. Well, let me get on to the interview part so I can try to throw these nerves away. Oh gosh. No. My thing came off of the. There. All right. So, all right. So we have it like this. Oh, hello, Transparent Games. So, should I bring the questions up? Hmm. I guess I'll just do it like this. All right. So just pay attention to the webcam. All right. So as I said, I DM'd them a list of questions about the game and about like deving, and had them fill it in. And for convenience of time and location and all that stuff, uh, I would read the answers here on stream. So that's what we're gonna do now in a very interesting way. This is what I thought up to make it more interesting. All right, so let's do this. All right. So to start off with, I asked them to tell me a bit about themselves. Um, which they did. And Shimmy is gonna tell you what they said. Oh, if you didn't get Shimmy here, or oh, you don't see him. Hi. This is the stand-in for Transparent Games. They're gonna be. I'll be doing the voice. They'll be doing the visual for the answers, or yeah, answers of the interview. This is a mess. All right, let's try this. All right. So I asked them to again. I asked them to tell me about themselves. They said, "I'm Anna or Levina. I'm non-binary person from Poland. I work as a game designer. That's my day job. I've been part of the game dev industry for 4.5 years now. I also write books. I've ghostwritten 11 paranormal romance novels. Other than that, I make visual novels and so far have released a dozen free Game Jam games, with Saintess of the Golden Bow as the first commercial project of my company, Transparent Games." So that's the a little bit about themselves, a little bit about them, you know, their dev history, which is actually pretty cool. Mhm. I like that they've ghostwritten for romance novels. Like, I'd like to read one of those. um, okay. I've never interviewed before, so I'm going with this as I go. So I asked them what inspired the game creation, which is always a very interesting question because you want to know, how was this game made? What's, sparked the idea? So their answer to me was that there was a time in my life that was pretty dark, and I asked myself if I had any regrets, what would I regret not doing? The answer came to me that it would be writing a story and moving people. So I opened a Word document and got to writing. 5 years later, I'm still writing. I'm in a much better place now mentally, and I am very grateful for all the people I've met along the way. I've got a great support circle, and lots of friends now. I'm human, so I have times when I feel down, but they always lift me up. Oh, that's very sweet. I kind of relate a little bit to that, just, up and doing it. That's kind of how I started the streaming thing. No preparation at all. I just was feeling like confident one day and like one of those real, like, I can do it. I got this. And, just downloaded OBS and pressed start stream. So in that sense, I kind of relate to, just, you have a thought of like, if you don't do it now, you might not get to it, or you might regret it in their case. So my history in streaming is similar to that. Okay. Oh, they have some other answers to that question. Yes. So, Chimmy, let's take it away. To answer the question from another angle, the main inspiration for Saintess of the Golden Bow are Korean web novels. I'm a huge fan of Otomi Isekai stories. My favorites are Villains Are Destined to Die, which influenced one particular scene with Noah and his sword in this demo. And I failed to oust the villain. I love stories where the heroine is a normal girl transported into a fantasy world, which she has some knowledge of. But she quickly finds out her actions changed plots. This is what the Saintess is about, and one of the things the game is about. So that's a little more about what inspired the game's creation. I think I should have acted this out first. All right. All right. Second question I had for them. I have quite a few. Please bear with me. I asked them if they have a favorite character from their game or a favorite character design. My favorite character is Eurydice. I'm an only child, so I always wanted to have a sister like her. She's different from Celeste, but she still loves her twin sister and supports her. The connection between those two is wonderful. Every girl protagonist deserves to have a great female friend. I do agree with that. You need that you need that friend in the story that's gonna be there through thick and thin. So the next one I asked was start to finish. How long do you estimate it took you to make the game? Oh, 4 years. Mostly due to the fact that I've been funding the game from my own money. I had times when I had to put it on pause due to being unemployed and delayed development. I'm grateful to all the people who stayed with the project despite the pauses in production. There's still 2 more years of development speed, depending not only on future funding. Which, speaking of, I believe they do have plans to do a Kickstarter, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but keep an eye out for that. Alright. The next question is if the game is still in development, do you currently have a goal for a finish date? You don't know either? For this one, the answer to this question is quarter 3 to quarter 4 of 2016, 2026. 2016? No, no. That's long since passed. 2026. Oh, and if you want to add something to what I'm reading, go ahead and add it in chat and I'll relay it. For the next question, I asked if there was ever a moment when you just wanted to scrap the game and give up. Because I can imagine. I've never done game deving before, but I can imagine it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and I could easily see someone, just throwing their computer to the wall and being like, "I'm done." So it was a question I kind of was like interested in. So this was the answer. All right, you good for now? Nice. What you have the pleasure to read is the 4th iteration of the script. That means I've written the whole common roots, 40k words, 3 times and scrapped it. In those 4 years I've been developing the game, I've written a dozen visual novels and a dozen novels, so I've learned to write. I'm happy with what the narrative sounds like now. I think I found my voice and confidence in my writing. And I hope people will enjoy it too and get immersed in Celeste's story. Right. I have a feeling this is going to be a good game, so I don't think they need to worry about disappointing us. So, next question. I asked, do you have a favorite scene, line, background, or CG from the game? Their answer? For scenes and lines, the Noah's sword scene and its accompanying CG. For background, Celeste's room in the Decreus mansion. The one with the big pink bear that Eurydice puts there to make Celeste's room more feminine. I never had a big pink bear, but I did once own a big bear. Like, one of those Valentine's bear things you see at the stores. Mm. Okay, yeah. Next, I asked if they have a favorite character route. The answer to this is... That's a hard question because I like them all for different things. I can't say I do right now, at the very least. Mm-hmm. I probably have a hard time picking a favorite character too. We'll have to wait until we meet them to actually pick a favorite. Oh no. Based on visual, does anyone have a feeling a certain character may be their favorites? Hmm? For the next question, I have another. I asked if they have a favorite character route. Oh wait, I just asked that, right? Yeah, I just said that. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, the next question I asked is if there was anything they wish they did differently. No, I'm happy with how the demo shaped out to be, and how the full game is coming out too. Alright, that's good, that's good. Mm, maybe I should just bring it over. I will, sure. I like here. Alright. Yeah, gun creation. Alright. So, for the next question, I wanted to know more about the, game creation. Get a little more into that. So, these are some questions I came up with to ask. The first one being, for anyone wanting to get into game dubbing, where would you recommend they start? And do you have any warnings of hardships they may face? Which I think this is a very good question because I feel like, it's something that you should ask, what will you, what should you expect? Their answer in that is, well, I'd recommend joining the Dev Talk visual novel Discord server and apply to people looking for teammates for jams for the roles they are interested in. I'd recommend being part of teams 2 or 3 times before you decide to lead a project. I love project leading, but it's not easy. It's a great skill to have for actual game dev work, though. Like if you want to join the industry. Thanks to being a project manager for, at the time, 2 years, I was quickly promoted to lead game designer at my day job. I love the responsibilities that come with a job. I'd say people look favorably at my size portfolio when I'm looking for new jobs. Other than the fact that right now, we're after massive layoffs in most major countries, so it's hard to get into a junior position. Harder than ever. And that's impressive, lead game designer. Hmm. Good for you. So, that sounds like a very, very important job. So, proud of you. All right. Next question. I asked them, how did they get into game deving? Mm, did they not saving the roll? I'm glad you enjoyed filling this out. I spent a while trying to figure out like here, let me go switch back to me. I'm gonna get the chat up on my phone so I'm not like alright, there we go. Alright. That should make things a little easier. Easier to see chat. So yeah, about the questions. I did try to ask questions like that weren't like mainstream, I guess. But of course, the mainstream questions would be in there. But like, I tried my best to ask some more, I guess, deeper questions. So hopefully, it sounds like I did a good job. So very happy about that. And you may not be saving the world, but you are giving people joy, and that's equally important. It is. So, how did they get into game deving? I started from making visual novels for jams. Then I got a first job making a demo for a visual novel called Healer and Phoenix on Steam. After that, I got the job working on Never Ending Dungeon as a regular and later as a lead. Now I'm designing a mobile tycoon game. I think the answer is mostly with a lot of persistence. My area of studies doesn't directly translate to game dev. I'm an architect by trade, but it does help with a lot of design principles and in-level design. I just really wanted to make games and told myself nothing is impossible. And 5 years later, I'm still here. I do support the whole, look, I'm gonna be honest. If I made a game, I would make it, it would be Otomi, and it would be romance, but it would also be dark. I want my characters to suffer. I actually do have an idea for a game, but, you know, it's not completely thought out, so maybe one day. Anyway, for the next question, I asked, is there a genre or theme you would like to explore in your games in the future? I would like to explore more isekai and fantasy and romance stories. I have a bunch of game ideas and a project that's already started, but we deemed too ambitious for the time. I'd like to make something smaller after Saintess, and then another big game. Leaves me curious what this game idea is. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Next question. In the writing process, where did you have the most difficulties with, if any? I forgot to put comma.
With Saintess, it was organizing what everyone knows at a given time and what they want. Celine has knowledge about the book, Saint of the Golden Bow. She gets reincarnated into it, but she doesn't know everything. There's one more character who knows more than they let on. Judging that knowledge was the most difficult. Actually, writing everything with a good outline isn't that hard.
Oh, good, good. It's always good to have some smooth sailing. But yes, it sounds like there's a character that may also have been reincarnated, possibly. Hmm? But I can see when you. I could easily see, were you to introduce a character like that into a story, you have to be aware of, you know, connecting all the pieces, making them make sense. um, yeah. But that is a little interesting fact. So, have to keep an eye out for that. Uh, Next, I asked, where did you get your inspiration from the games, or from for your games?
Mostly Korean web novels. I read a lot on Tapas and Tapitoon. Also, other games. I have a Switch and I play a lot of Otome games, my favorite being Cupid Parasite and Olympia Sori.
All right. I love Otome games. As you know, that's pretty much our whole channel, stream, like, theme, or at least like 80% of it. And I do read web novels on occasion. In the, in a previous question, they named one of the Korean web novels that I've also read and actually love. That's the Villainous is Destined to Die one. I like that one. And I have played Cupid Parasite on my own. Actually did a little you know, thread playthrough for Shelby on Twitter. Well, right now, I've only done Shelby's routes and started Gills. But I feel like for characters, my favorites would probably be Shelby or Raul. Yeah, I'm gonna save Alan for the end. I'm doing it by the recommended order. So, but yeah, for the moment, I feel like those two characters are gonna be my favorites. My cat likes Raul. He says his name all the time. He's a big fanboy. All right. Another question I asked is, are they the type that paces themselves when creating a game, or are they the type that prefers to push out as much as they can in one sitting? I personally am the type that's one sitting. It's not healthy. So try not to do it. But this was their answer for that question.
I need to pace myself mostly because I also have a day job and do writing commissions from time to time. So I write a chunk of the game, and then I have to switch gears to something else. But that's fine. It's good to put writing aside for a time and then to get back to it.
Like I said, I agree with having a good pacing. I can't do it, but it's if you can, do it, please. Please eat your dinner. Don't work on a project until 6 a.m. in the morning and have started at like 5 p.m. Don't do that. Wouldn't recommend. Next question. I asked if there was a game they were most proud of. The answer to that is
Out of the released ones, Knight's Dilemma, I think. I really like how that one came out. When it comes to games, I only did voice direction for Twisted Carnival, without a doubt.
all right. And like I said, we played Twisted Carnival. I enjoyed that one. Oddly enough, the Jester is my favorite, but also, kind of horrifying. Next question. When it comes to VNs, do you have any preferences? And if you don't know what a VN is, it's short for visual novel.
I actually don't like it when there's a lot of choices. I like to just kick back and read the story and look at the pretty pictures. But I don't like completely kinetic stories either. There needs to be a balance between choices and no choices. I've tried to reach that balance with Saintess. To give meaningful choices, like whether to kill the demon or not. That gets referenced in the common route by different characters at different points, and some that are there for the player to learn more about the world.
Ooh, now that's thoughtful. The whole adding questions in, or you know that will help the player learn more about the world's environments and whatnot. Because I don't think I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know what it looks like, but the way it sounds, and it's sounding like something I've never seen done, or rarely, at least not often. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it's very, very a creative insertion of questions or choices. This is yes, but when it comes to VN preferences, for me at least, Leon was a good character too. Leon actually reminded me of my cat. With the my cat has orange hair, so I had a side by side of them. But yeah, for me, uh, you actually heard me kind of complain about it slightly in the last most recent twist stream. When it comes to VNs, I prefer VNs where the choices matter, where they actually do things. That's my big thing on visual novels. I do enjoy the ones that, where the choice doesn't do anything. I'll enjoy the story, but when you have choices that have consequences, I personally would prefer that. I want to risk death, I guess. Give me difficulty. But yes, anyway, that's for my VN preferences when it comes to choices. That's mine. And for the next question, I asked, what is their favorite and or least favorite part of game creation?
I really don't like cutting voice acting files, especially when the game is fully voiced. It's monotonous work that I've done for my games many times, and I'm just not a fan of it.
Understandable. While I've never cut voice acting files, I have done minor editing, and it can be very monotonous, very time consuming, and not the most interesting. So, next question. I asked, is there any place in which you would like to improve?
I script in RenP as well, so I would like to learn more about the engine for sure.
Good, good. Doing a similar thing, trying to learn a little bit more about OBS every now and then. It's way better than it used to be. Next question. When you finally finish a game, how do you usually feel and what do you do?
I go to sleep. I feel relieved for a while, but after that, it has to be marketed. So just finishing and releasing is half the story.
No, I never really thought about that. So, but yeah, I guess marketing does is a big part of getting your game out there. So that's like another part of the whole job. But yeah, sleep is a good way to it's good. Like when you finish a long project, you the first thing you want to do is, collapse and take a nap. Next question. Are there any game devs you admire, would like to work with, or just get to know?
Gabby from 2.5 Studios and Ari Mia. We do actually know each other.
Oh, okay. Um, I have done a thing from 2.5 Studios before, so I'm familiar with that name.
Yes, nice, nice.
Next question. When you aren't creating games, are there any games you like to play for fun? Because, you gotta have an outlet. Although I could also see if you don't want to play games, if you make games. So it could go either way.
I like to play otome visual novels on my Switch. Uh, Hearthstone, Civilization, Baldur's Gate 3, and I also am a game master for Dungeons and Dragons 5e and Call of Cthulhu, if that counts. I have 6 years of experience being a game master, and I DM professionally for 8 months. But now I just do it for fun.
Okay, cool, cool. I've only played Dungeons and Dragons once. I do know what a game master means. They're the one that puts the you know, they're the lead. They lead the game, right? And make the rules. I think that's like their job. Like I said, I only have slight familiarity, but I believe that is correct. Uh, Next, I asked, do you have a game finished or in development that you would like to showcase or promote to the viewers? Feel free to promote your socials and any existing Kickstarters too. So, here we have the Twisted Carnival one. That's this one here. Very good game. Very fun. Right here. They have their Twitter. Actually, I can just yeah, I can do this right there. That's probably easier. This is their Twitter. So go ahead and give them a little follow, so you can keep up with the game. Tumblr. I saw a post for that. And their Patreon. So if you have any interest, go ahead and do follow those, support them. Lastly, I had some more, more fun questions. A little less serious. The first one was, if they could date any of the male leads, who would it be?
Levy is my type.
Levy was, let me see. Levy's in Loyal Knights. I could see that. He seems like a sweetheart. For the second question, I asked, if they got Isekied into their own game, would they prefer to take the place of one of the characters or be an NPC? And would they mess with the plots? For the rest of these, I'm just gonna do here. They said that they would love to be Eurydice, who is the heroine, I believe, yes? Oh no, so Eurydice was the friend, right? Yeah, I think so. Or is this... No. I'm not trying to find... Wait, who was Eurydice again? Because they mentioned the name before. I want to say Eurydice is the friend. Oh, Celeste's twin sister. Okay. So that's Eurydice. Next question was, do they have any existing characterships? They said, they like Eurydice and her love interest. But telling who that love interest is, it would be a spoiler, because they are currently not in the demo. So we'll have to wait until the full game comes out to find out who this love interest is. Next question. Do you have a favorite web novel? They answered, the villains are destined to die, which they mentioned earlier in one of the previous questions as inspiration. Next, do you have a favorite piece of media? They answered, they like Vampire Diaries and Dragon Age Inquisition. Next, I asked, do you own any pets? And they said, yes, I own a dog, a 14-year-old German Shepherd Granny. Aw, and sweet. I always liked German Shepherds. After that, I asked what do they do in their free time. They said, I make games and I sleep. I play games, I DM D&D, and that is about it. For life doesn't give them a lot of free time, naturally. And then last question was just kind of like a not a dev question, but a did I do okay question. So, yeah, that was the interview questions and answers. I know that was kind of like everywhere and a little bit of a mess. I'll probably need to roleplay for the next one for tomorrow. But yes, those are a little bit more about the game and the dev, which is always I always like to know more about them. So, with that done, let me arrange things and get the actual game up. So, Chimmy needs to go down. Oof. Headphones need to go on. Oh, me actually. Do this. Alright. Do I not have a. Oh, see. Alright, there we go. That should fix that. Let me get some water. Alright. So here we are. Saintess of the Golden Bow. Start a new game. I like the screen. Check something. That's what I'm about to check right now. I see. Okay, I need to connect the application. Kinda gotta do that, right? I'm like about to start, and then I see the screen, and I'm like, oh, I'm still at the application audio scene. All right, let's try this. Little quiet. All right. Just my luck. Why does it have to be pouring now? I want to go home. I feel that. I feel that. I'll be soaked by the time I reach the subway. You know, I used to live in Oregon. It rained pretty much every day. So I kind of got used to being soaked in the rain. Like, you would see people just on the streets, no umbrella, just walking in the rain. It becomes like the norm. I ran down the street, holding my bag over my head in a futile attempt to block the rain. I did my best to stay underneath the shop awnings, the cars speeding down the streets. However, this kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater. The cars speeding down the street, however, kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater. There we go. I'm ill prepared for the weather. I didn't even take a hoodie with me, let alone an umbrella. The cold damp, or damp cold, oh god, it's starting already. It seeps into my body, making me shiver. This day sucks. My boss yelled at me again, and I had to cover for my sick coworker on top of doing all my own tasks. I've done that before. Not fun. An office job sucks. I recently graduated from college and got this boring job where all I do is call people to sell them beauty products. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never gotten a call trying to sell me beauty products. It's always a call saying, do you need new windows? Or one of those like car insurance scam things. But that's not a call center type thing. Adult life sucks. It hadn't taken me long to tire of the monotony. I cannot say that word. Monotony of adult life. I just want to curl up under a blanket and read web novels. Being the heroine of a fantasy romance novel would be such an amazing life. Fighting to save a kingdom from impending doom with magical powers and falling in love with a hottie. Look, I think we all would like this. I would, at the very least. That would be awesome. Thinking about what to read next, I walked through the crosswalk. By the time I noticed the light was actually red, not green. It's too late. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk with a truck driving straight at me. And truck comes, strikes again. Another victim, another day. I freeze. My mind tries to calculate if I could possibly save myself by taking a few more steps ahead or back. But no, there's no way to avoid death. And that was the end. Oh god, it hurts! My leg! The pain, it's excruciating. My whole body hurts so much. Until I suddenly stop feeling anything at all. The absence of pain brings me relief. And I let go of my life. The next thing I know, I'm floating. In a cotton-like substance? That sounds comfortable. I feel comforted. Safe even. Have I really died? Am I in heaven now? Ah. But I wanted to read the last chapter of my favorite author's new web novel. No, that would be the worst. Like, one of my this is gonna sound stupid, but one of my biggest fears is dying before the end of my favorite anime and finding out what actually happens. I'd probably come back as a ghost or something, you know, just to wait and find out how it ends. Yeah, it's One Piece. Come on, it's 1,000 episodes and like you're not gonna find out the end? I think anyone would come back as a ghost. Now I'll never find out what happens to the heroine in the end. A chuckle escapes me. A loud sound in this quiet place. I'm pathetic, aren't I? I died and now I'm just thinking of my hobbies. Not my parents or my friends. Not that I had a great relationship with anybody anyway. I was quite a loner. I feel that. What is that sound? Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like heaven. The ah. In the emptiness, I can hear someone singing. An angelic voice. It's calling to me. It's the devil in disguise. Imagine. You must fight on. I must? But I'm dead. I don't have to do anything. Angel's like, yep, no. Not yet. Which... Good luck! Suddenly, I feel a pull. My soul gets grabbed and yanked towards the golden whirlpool. I scream, but no sound comes out of my mouth. I close my eyes. The shifting reality around me makes me feel dizzy. And when my senses return to me again, the first thing I notice is the fresh scent of the forest. Ooh, this is a beautiful CG. Or background. Gorgeous forest. I open my eyes and look around. I'm in the middle of the woods. Lush canopies of trees above me sway gently in the light breeze. There's something heavy in my hand, and when I look down, I see that I'm holding a simple hunting bow. My feet, clad in riding boots, sink into the damp green moss of the forest floor. I'm out hunting, I realize. Somewhat related, but somewhat not. I have always wanted to learn archery. Never got around to it, but it's something that I think would be fun to learn. Wait, how is that possible? I just died and... It's been ages since I handled a bow. The last time I practiced archery was in middle school, back when my parents could still afford to spoil me. I also hadn't put on such high boots today for work. Or these fancy pants. Or this jacket. The outfit looks almost like it belongs in a Korean webtoon. Because it does. Who am I? Celeste. Where are you, Celeste? Somehow I suddenly realize I'm supposed to be hiding. Are we playing hide and seek? Hiding from what or whom? I don't understand. I only know that I must seek cover. The urge to disappear from sight is so strong that I don't even question it. And I'm gonna guess this is Iridis, right? Oh, we'll find out in a minute. I find a thicket of bush and dive into them, not caring that my outfit will get dirty and torn. From my hiding spot, I observe the situation, holding my breath. Oh, it's Levy. A handsome man with red hair tied back into a ponytail runs toward me. He's wearing some sort of fantasy armor, and he has two thin swords on his hips. I recognize this person. This man is my knight. Levy Perenith. Wait, I don't have a knight. I'm Celine. I'm 21 years old, an American office worker, and I'm fresh out of college with a job in sales. Is that really the whole truth, though? He's looking for us. He's worried. Levy turns left and right, searching for me. Celeste, please come out. Failing to discover me, he runs off. I wonder where we're hiding. I recognize this guy's looks from somewhere, and the name Celeste is familiar too. No. I couldn't have. Did I get reincarnated? Here? Out of all the books or games that could have been the setting for my reincarnation, why did I have to end up in the BL tragic fantasy web novel? Why this one? Saint of the Golden Bow is the work's name. It was recently adapted to a webcomic, and that's how popular it was. The book used to be one of my favorites, but the world of the story is not a nice place to live. There's a war going on with a demon queen. And Celeste? Why did I have to be reincarnated as her? We can blame the angel for this. Although, if you think about it, we did literally just say before we died that we wanted something like this, so I guess we were given what we wanted. I guess it's like the saying, be careful what you wish for. What I just witnessed was the opening scene of the book, before Levi is chosen to become the titular saint. He goes out hunting with his unrequited love, the lady he's serving. He's supposed to protect Celeste, but he loses sight of her at some point, and an ungodly sound makes the hairs on my skin crawl up. Oh, we got a monster? A creature that made the sound appear... Oh, sorry. No. The creature that made the sound appears to my right. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. An abomination. A demon. Literally. The imp's leathery wings flap in the air, and then the creature flies toward me. It spotted me. This is the moment when Celeste de Queiroz dies a miserable death to become part of Levi's tragic backstory. We have a bow, right? We can fight it? But I just died from being hit by a truck. I don't want to die again. You know, that's us. Especially not in a scripted event where I'm supposed to just fade away so I can serve as a part of someone else's tragedy. It's like, at least let us play a part, have some significance. But it would suck to die right after you die. Not doing anything to save myself is not like me at all. The imp is still far away enough. The imp is still far enough away for me to attempt to save my life. I have to act quickly. The monstrosity is coming closer and closer. My hands are sweaty and my arms are shaking. I refuse to give up. Okay, so first choice. No, like I said, we have a bow. I would say shoot the demon. But the question is, can we get the bow prepared in time? But Levi might be too far away to be able to help us in time. Try it. In my hands, I hold the key to my salvation. I pull out an arrow, draw back, and aim at the imp that's flying straight at me. I take a breath and release it, remembering what I was taught in middle school about archery. When I'm sure of my shots, and know I can't delay any longer, I send the arrow flying. The arrow hits the demon straight in its ugly little head. With a final, frightening sound, the monstrosity falls to the floor. And so do we. I breathe heavily, collapse into my knees. I did it! I thump my balled fists up against the ground, feeling the damp moss beneath my fingers. I like the music. I breathe deeply again, taking in the smells of the gorgeous forest. They calm me down. I'm alive. Tears roll down my cheeks. I was terrified, but I survived. Celeste! Levy comes running toward me. When he sees the imp dead a few steps away from me, and the bow still grasped in my hand, a gasp of surprise escapes his lips. Celeste, what happened? Did you kill the demon yourself?
Look, we are independent women.
We can fight a little imp on our own. I nod. For a moment, entertaining the thought that I'm indeed Celeste, not Celine. They have very similar sounding names, though. So maybe it was destiny. I open my mouth to explain the situation, but my voice sounds raw and shaky. I killed the demon. I finally manage to whisper. Livy walks up to me and kneels down before me. My lady, can you walk? I give his question some thoughts, but I feel so weak. I wipe my tears away. I don't think so. I'll carry you. No, there's no need for... Oh, we got the princess carry. Or what is it, bridal? I think it goes by both names, actually. Livy takes me in his arms, bridal style. The bow slips from between my fingers. Our close proximity is so embarrassing. I want to hide my face, but I can only do so against his chest, which is less than an ideal option. I mean, I would say it's ideal, personally. It's a good excuse.
My bow.
Don't worry about the weapon. I will return for your bow later. Right now, it's most important that I carry you back to the safely mansion.
But it's...
I still protest, and Livy gives me a glare.
No buts. Let me do my job, for once.
I let out a long sigh and stop resisting. So by that line, I'm getting the impression that that there's like a theme of him not being able to, I guess, be there on every occasion we need help, or... Because he's supposed to be our knight, correct? But, you know, we'll let him do his job, let him feel good, let him feel the success. Livy walks toward where we found our horses. Or so my memory of Celeste recalls. So I really am Celeste now. I'm part of the world of the Saints of the Golden Bow. But I was supposed to die. So what will my survival mean for the story now? There's that pink teddy bear. Alright, we got a pretty cute room here, don't we? All washed up, my lady. After an awkward bath where I let my maid Linda wash me, I'm finally dressed in a nightgown and allowed to rest. My body feels weak, The shock of dying, reincarnating, then almost dying again, finally taking a toll on me. A loud yawn escapes my lips, and I cover my mouth. I'm going to lie down. Is there anything else you need from me? I forgot I'm supposed to formally dismiss Linda whenever I want to be alone. She's Celeste's servant, after all. I'm good for now. I'll call for you later if I need anything. All right, my lady. Aw, I like that little curtsy. Linda curtsies before me. Then she exits the room. I sink into the softness of the mattress, taking a good look around the room. This place has an unidentifiably expensive, polished, fancy look. Somebody has tried very hard to make the atmosphere more feminine, and I know it wasn't Celeste. I personally said it did a good job. It's very cute. I really like these curtains. The Celeste the book mentions is quite the tomboy, carrying little girly things like dolls and decorations. She doesn't have good social skills, like me. She lacks proper knowledge of etiquette, and she dances like an elephant. Instead, she's great at archery, hunting, and riding horses. So yes, that's what Levy meant by let me do my job for once. However, this society deems all those activities inappropriate for a lady, and thus she doesn't have many friends. Sounds so much like me in my past life. The only two people who really like Celeste are Levy, who, for some reason that isn't really explained in the book, adores his lady, and... Ah, here we go. Celeste, are you alright? Celeste's twin sister, Eurydice. She's a little cutie. The book also briefly mentions Eurydice as part of Levy's backstory, simply describing her as the more ladylike twin who loves pink and romance novels. I feel Celeste's emotions for Eurydice in my heart, though. Celeste really cherishes her sister. Celeste? Eurydice notices that I'm staring at her with a faint smile on my face. I'm alright. Thank you for worrying about me. She rushes over to my bed, fixing the pillow under my head and helping me sit up. Well, of course I'm worried about you. You're my beloved sister. What would I do if I lost you? That's actually really sad, because in the original story she was supposed to die. So this conversation never even happened. I think to console her worries, the best option to say would be Levy was with us. Because she would take, I guess take solace in that knowledge. Well, if we said, I've been through worse, I feel she'd be like, what? What? You've been through worse? What? When? How? Levy was with me. Nothing bad could happen to me under his protection. You think I don't know how you always run off from Levy during your hunts? Making excuses that you have to be alone because he's stomping too loudly, scaring your prey off? Busted. I know that is exactly what Celeste has always done. And suddenly, I wonder if Celeste somehow realized Levy was in love with her and has been trying to avoid the awkwardness of his puppy-like adoration. Well, possibly, I guess. Her feelings on the matter are unclear to me. I'm not sure. You got me. Did you split from Levy this time too, sister? I did. Figures. Gyrides lets out an annoyed sigh, and I give her a wide smile, enjoying our conversation despite her chastising me. I really like having a friend whom I can talk to freely. I really would like to know what happened today, though. Levy babbled about some, demon? I'd like to know more about this too, for the matter. I think we're in trouble. Father walked into the room without knocking or otherwise warning us of his presence. He has a stern look on his face, but that's just his usual expression. The joy I felt at talking to Gyrides momentarily evaporates. New emotions from Celeste surface in my heart. Her father always made her feel lesser, inadequate. Okay, so they don't have a good relationship. That's usually common in these types of stories, that they don't have a great relationship with the parents. I review her memories of him and curse inwardly. To say that her father favors Gyrides won't at all capture the severe inequality of the situation. During some of their past interactions, he has been outright abusive, belittling Celeste, and calling her names. I stiffen my spine, sitting up straight. I took so much shit as Celine, and I'm not gonna do it again as Celeste. What happened today that left you so disheveled? I looked down at myself. The only blemish in my appearance is a scratch on my knee from when I hid in the bushes. The mark is so small, I didn't even notice it while bathing. Otherwise, I'm wearing a fresh nightgown and all cleaned up. There's nothing disheveled about me. I gave Father a defiant look. As you can see, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Father huffs. You and your sister's 18th birthday is in 3 days. We're leaving for the capital the day after tomorrow. If you're not healed up and in top form by then, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. My body feels tired and heavy, but it's nothing a bit of sleep can't fix. I see Gyrides scoot slightly to the left, as if taking a step away from Father's negative energy. You'd better be. I don't want you to ruin the golden bow ceremony for your sister. Oh, he's in for a treat. You're banned from leaving the mansion for the next 3 days. I open my mouth to tell him off, but my eyes land on Gyrides. She shakes her head slightly. To honor her wishes, I decide not to agitate Father any further. All right. I nod. I don't feel like going hunting or horseback riding anyway. Someone would quickly notice that I'm not as good at those activities as Celeste should be. No, I think this here, this would be the hardest part in reincarnating in like one of these novels. Or any novel as like a existing person. Because, you know, you're yourself, you're not anyone else. And you may not know who that person you're embodying is. So I feel like that'd be the most difficult part of like reincarnating as a character. I'm still not sure how much of her skills I can access for myself. Levi set me up in front of himself on the horse to return us to the mansion earlier, though I have no idea if I actually know how to ride a horse myself. I actually did ride horses for a while, for a couple years. I rode a Western style. Was in like one competition, I think. It wasn't like a national competition, just like a local stable competition, but Ooh. Got the little sounds of the settings. That bear is smiling too much. I only rode a horse once or twice as Celine when I was a kid. Not nearly enough to match Celeste's experience. Now tell me what happened. I killed a demon. Both Father and Eurydice let out gasps of surprise. You what?
Lovey said you two had an encounter with a demon, but I assumed he was the one who killed it.
I shake my head and smile. And I shot an imp with my bow. What was such a monstrous thing doing in the middle of Lokari Empire lands? We're far from the war fronts. Okay. So we got a little bit of a knowledge here that there's currently a war going on. Which I guess makes sense. There's a demon queen. So, naturally, you know, you're on the mission to save the world, defeat the demon.
The imp was conveniently there to kill Celeste for Levy's tragic backstory. I want to tell the truth, but of course I won't. Father and Eurydice would take me for a madwoman if I babble about them being characters from a novel.
Yeah.
No, there actually was a web novel I read where one of the characters
Revealed this. And the character she revealed it to didn't take her seriously. And, you know, kind of, you know, brushed that off as like a dream. I forget the name of it, but it was, oh gosh. I remember the character was like a young blonde girl. And there was like a whole plot about father and daughter type thing. You know, mending broken relationships. Anyway. I don't know, but the monster attacked me, so I killed it. I shirked like my actions were nothing out of the ordinary. After all, in the face of danger, it's kill or be killed. Father sits down in the chair next to the entrance of my room and hides his face in his hands. I don't see why this is an issue. I guess in like this society, I guess I do see why. But it's not like anyone saw us, so So why are we being punished? As long as none of us say anything about this, event, we can still be the perfect little lady. No, I prefer characters that can, like, hold their own anyway. Like, what's the name of it? Forget the name. But there's a character, a female lead I like in that one. The name is, escaping me. My sister and I share a smile. Ooh, is he gonna fire Levy? Are we gonna get Levy fired? I hope not. I'm gonna feel really bad if we do. Where was your knight when the demon attacked you? I should choose my words carefully. I don't want Levy to take the blame for any of my actions. I ran off on him again. I wanted to hunt on my own. Of course. He let a long sigh, like I'm burdening him more than he can even bear. My body takes this moment to remind me how tired I am. A big yawn escapes my lips, and I cover my mouth with my hand. Rust. Father gets up and gestures for Eurydice to leave. Eurydice nods and walks behind him out of the room. She turns back to me when she's in the doorway and gives me a warm smile.
Get some rest. I'll be back later.
I return her smile and sink more deeply into the bed, making myself comfortable. It doesn't take long for me to fall into a dreamless slumber. When I wake up again, the rays of morning sun pour into my room. I get out of bed and stretch to make sure my body's working properly. No, does that actually matter? Because I've never done such a thing. Like, does that actually do anything? I like this piece. I feel refreshed after my long sleep. No more weakness in my limbs, and everything is in working order. I walk to the desk and sit down. I take a fresh sheet of paper, and I hesitate when I realize that there's only a quill for writing. But I won't be stopped. I produce a few scratchy letters. My handwriting looks horrible. It seems I can't directly access Celeste's skills after all. That's quite inconvenient. I can manage to write with a quill, but not very well. And only in English, of course. Yeah. Well, I hope they write in English here too. Otherwise, we're gonna have to, I don't know, make up an excuse or secretly study, like, this world's language. Hopefully one of those books is helpful. I have to write down everything I know about the web novel Saint of the Golden Bow so I can organize my knowledge of the world and line it up with Celeste's memories. Scratchy handwriting or not, I need to sort out all my assets. We should probably find out what their writing language is here in this world. If it's like English or if it's like some kind of foreign type fantasy language. Because that's another thing in like these types of stories. Like if someone were to see your like your little you know, your writing and not know what it'd be basically like they know that something was up because they know that we never wrote in that language and that they never seen that language before. So I would say when writing like a outline of the story in this type of situation, to make sure you hide it. Or else things could get bad. Is that's what I feel like? Let's start with the basics. Saint of the Golden Bow is a romance fantasy novel by Korean webtoon novelist Hanael Kim. I read the English translation on one of my favorite web novel apps. The story was supposed to be turned into a webcomic and had promo arts, which is how I was able to recognize Livy immediately. Okay, so it wasn't even a webtoon or webcomic yet. It was just announced to be. His design and the artwork even had him in the same outfit he was wearing on the day of the demon attack. I get up for a moment and wander over to the mirror. I touch my hand to the glass. The design of Celeste wasn't included in the promo arts. I take in my new features, my purple hair and pink eyes, a slender figure. We should be happy that we turned out cute. So there's no denying it. I'm really not Celine anymore. The understanding that I have reincarnated into the novel finally settles in my mind. I feel calm, calmer than I have ever thought I would be if something out of a novel suddenly changed the course of my life. There's no fighting the reality, is there? As strange as this situation is, I'm Celeste, and I have her memories. But somehow I'm Celine as well, equipped with knowledge of this world that Celeste never had. I walk back to the desk and sit down to continue organizing my thoughts. Maybe after I process everything, I'll break down and cry about my fate. But right now, however, I don't feel like moping. Instead, I want to fight for a better fate. Back to Saint of the Golden Bow. The book starts with Celeste's death events. Lovey was in love with his lady for years, but the actual love interest of the story is Prince Noah. Celeste has to die at the beginning of the book to make Lovey feel at his lowest when the Golden Bow chooses him as the saint. Oh, he was supposed to be the saint? What? Why did I think that the sister was supposed to be the saint? Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was able to say... why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said to be so good at archery? It was possible for me to use my mediocre skill to defeat the demon. Must be book logic. She had to die for the story in the Saint of the Golden Bow to proceed the way it did. Soon after Celeste's death, Lovey's quest to save the Lokari Empire from the Demon Queen begins. No, she brings up a good point back there about the original Celeste. Like if Celeste had the ability to use the bow, why did she not kill the demon? Was she wanting to die? Or was she like caught off guard, maybe? Or maybe in that instance, no, the book would have mentioned that. I was gonna say that like, maybe she, shielded Lovey or something, but... Oh, but maybe she did, and it just wasn't mentioned in the, web novel or something. However, he doesn't go alone. Noah as the High Priest Elijah, or Noah as well as the High Priest Elijah, the second love interest, both accompany him on his journey. Oh yeah, this is BL, so of course... Okay, duh. I forgot about that momentarily. The original story. Alright. Noah and Levy fall in love, and Elijah falls in love with Levy too, but Levy chooses Noah. When the final confrontation with Demon Queen happens, the love Noah and Levy share is an important component of defeating the Fiend. Through their love, the magic of the weapon becomes stronger. However, this story is a tragic one. Even though Levy defeats the Demon Queen, he perishes in the process. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns to the Lokari Empire. Do Noah and Elijah get together then? I remember crying at the end of the book and cursing the author for writing such a beautiful yet heart-wrenching tale. I've reread the novel twice. Saint of the Golden Bow is really one of my favorite stories. I still don't appreciate being reincarnated into this world, though. Especially not as Celeste, whose only purpose in the story is to add angst to Levy's life. I didn't die when I was supposed to, though, and now the story has continued regardless. I wonder how many things will change because Celeste is alive. Can Levy still fall in love with Noah despite the fact that I'm still here? Ugh. I really want my ship to sail and for the boys to get together, but I don't know if that outcome is possible under these circumstances. If Levy and Noah don't fall in love at the end of the quest, will Levy still be able to defeat the Demon Queen? Well, I imagine as long as somebody falls in love, or as long as someone falls in love with the bull wielder, they should be able to have the equal amount of power to defeat the Demon Queen. I shudder. What if I've broken the story beyond repair by avoiding my demise? What was I supposed to do though? Just roll over and die? It's not like me. I'm a fighter. Maybe I can change the story even further so that Levy can survive the final encounter. I have no idea how to make this plan work, but maybe opportunities to influence the world further will present themselves to me. But yeah, if we could prevent Levy's death, that'd be a win. Like, there was another webtoon I've read, or am in the middle of reading. I haven't caught up with it lately, but it was like there's a fangirl. Like, she's a big fan of this one character who is the second, is the love interest the main character didn't choose. And he ends in the story. He ends up taking his own life, and so when in that webtoon, when the main character gets transported into the world, her goal is to save the life of her favorite character and have him like fall in love with her. It's something like I stand the something, or I don't know. But it's on the Webtoons app. After all, though the thought is chilling, what's happening here isn't just a web novel story. Saint of the Golden Bow is my new reality. Nice, stained glass. On today of Celeste and Eurydice's 18th birthday, Father takes us to the capital to attend the Golden Bow ceremony. I like the way the light is shining in from above. They must have designed it that way, the architects of the building. Specifically for this reason. Levi had his 18th birthday a few days ago as well. Since he's of a lower standing than the Count's family, Father got the approval of the church for Levi to attend our ceremony together with us instead of his own a few days earlier. Your knight has to guard you at all times, Father said to Celeste before I reincarnated into her body. After the encounter with the imp, he's become even more convinced that Levi shouldn't leave my side. Well, at least he hasn't like fired Levi or like punished him, so I'm happy for that, because I would have thought that since we've been so like independent, and Levi in the eyes of the father has failed to do his job, what seems like to be multiple times, that I would feel that the father would like fire him as our bodyguard, like deem him not worthy. And if that happened, I would feel really bad. Not that Levi is complaining about having to stick close to me for obvious reasons. Now, Eurydice, Levi, and I stand in the middle of the chapel in the royal palace in Solus, Lokari Empire's capital. Behind us are the many other people who will be tested. Ah, there's Elijah, yes. Before us, the High Priest Elijah Soren takes a spot behind a titular golden bow, the fabled artifact that will choose the saint one day. I know that day will be today, since Levi is the one who will be chosen. I eye the bow with suspicion. Light reflects off the golden-covered surface. The design is pretty and elaborate. Looks like a pain in the ass to use as a weapon. Too ornamental for my taste. Oh yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think how you'd hold it. Like, which is this the handle or is this the handle? I got Nakia.
windows of our chapel, let us give our gratitude to the Lord. He has given us means to end the war that has been raging for so many decades.
I've never been particularly religious, even in my past life. I especially don't believe in a fantasy god, but...
Let us give our gratitude.
Aw, she has a cute little voice.
Let us give our gratitude.
When Eurydice and Levy bow their heads and say the words of a prayer, along with all the other people in the hall, I mumble the words as well.
Let us give our gratitude.
I don't want to draw suspicion to myself after all.
20 years ago, the blessed blacksmith was bestowed with the Lord's inspiration and crafted the golden bow. He worked tirelessly day and night until finally he completed the artifact.
I wonder if I ever learn more about this blacksmith. Or if he's just there to, you know, be the source of its creation.
Ever since then, the people of the Lokari Empire have sought to be tested on the day of their 18th birthday by the golden bow, the artifact will choose its wielder. That person will become the saint and be tasked with defeating the demon queen who has terrorized our borders for 23 years.
I'm glad Elijah reminds us of the history of the bow, because I'd forgotten some of the details. Oh.
I will now call forth today's attendees to be tested. Each of you just needs to touch the golden bow once, and its judgment will be bestowed on you.
You know, this whole bow thing, it gives me like the Sword in the Stone vibes. You know, like the chosen one can only pull it out, but here only like the chosen one can wield it. Elisha takes out a sheet of paper and reads the first name from the list. Eurydice de Querus, daughter of Count de Querus. Eurydice approaches the bow. She puts a hand on the artifact. Nothing happens. And of course, what did I expect? Levy is the saint. The golden bow will only glow for him. A frown appears on the high priest's brow as he reads the next name. Estelle de Querus, daughter of Count de Querus. I take a deep breath and step into the podium, reminding myself I shouldn't expect anything. I put my hand on the weapon. For a moment, nothing happens. But then... the bow glows. Its light's getting brighter and brighter with each sound. The light feels scorching hot. I close my eyes, worrying I'll go blind if I don't. You must fight on. It's them again. This is their doing. I hear the angelic voice again. Was the bow the one speaking to me when I reincarnated? Or was it the god of light himself? The thought that I may have been addressed by a deity is frightening. Look, I just wanted to be a nobleman's daughter and have tea and cookies. I never signed up for being a hero. That's what I'd say. I'd still go with it, but... No. Gods aren't real. You're not religious, Celine. The golden bow! The burning light makes my skin feel like it's on fire, so I take my hand away from the bow. But my hand continues burning, the searing pain climbing up my arm to my chest. That doesn't sound good. Ah! I scream. My head is spinning. The pain is too much for me to handle. I want it to stop. Stop! 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 I'm on fire! I'm dying! Not again! Lady Celeste!
Sister!
Levy and Eurydice are calling to me, but I don't have the strength to respond. Obviously, we're the main character, so I know we're not gonna die, but... it sounds like if we weren't the main character, we'd probably be born alive. My consciousness fades, darkness taking me into its comforting embrace. No, I kind of want to... If I was there, I want to see if it reacted to Levy at all. So when a small part of me, like, this is just my mind, like, thinking up random shit. I'm like, what if the reaction we got just now is actually not a positive reaction, but like a negative reaction? Because if no one else touched the bow, I don't know. But what if that was like a thing? I don't know. Just random thoughts that don't make sense. I feel so groggy. I'm in the guest room of the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at Palace for the ceremony. The impersonal decor makes the place feel cold and unwelcoming. I know the room is supposed to look grand and elegant, but I don't feel at home here at all. Yes, there's none of my anime and otome merch here. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role is too dangerous for her. I turn my head to the left. Levy and Eurydice stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Just imagining her going on a dangerous quest to defeat the Demon Queen makes me terrified for her life. We have to stop the Church and Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess.
Levy, it's not for us to decide who the Saintess is. Neither is it a choice of the Church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of our empire.
This must be some kind of mistake.
Levy, you committed blasphemy here. You can't go against God's wishes.
But Lady Celeste is...
Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble.
So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow. I speak up, not believing my own words. Levy and Eurydice turn to me. Eurydice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers.
Celeste, you're awake. How are you feeling?
Fine, I think. just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. The light of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. That sounds horrible. Oh, I just thought of something. Is the reason it's hurt us, like felt painful upon entering our body because we're not from this world? That would make sense. Or do all the chosen ones go through that? Tears well up in Eurydice's eyes. I squeeze her hand, trying to comfort her. I glance behind her to where Levy still stands by the door. He has a defeated look on his face, and when he notices me watching him, he finally approaches the bed, standing behind Eurydice. I can't be the Saintess. It was supposed to be... I cut myself off. When I realized I almost just said that Levy was supposed to be chosen as a saint. I can't tell them what happens in the book. They don't even know they live in a fictional world. For some inexplainable reason, the Golden Bow, or the Light of God himself, has chosen me instead of the savior of the Lokari Empire. Why me? I ponder out loud. I'm so confused. I don't want to be the Saintess. Why has the story suddenly changed so much? I only did my best to survive. The fact that I wasn't slain by the demon really creates such a severe butterfly effect? Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? I remember the angelic voice of the bow sounding just like the voice I had heard after dying in the accident at Celine. I'm sure you do fine. You're excellent at archery. Eurydice smiles through her tears, trying to reassure me. I'm not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice is. Celeste may have been good at the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. I'm gonna need to take some, archery lessons. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. I only know how to use the bow somewhat from my experience as Celine in middle school. Oh, this whole situation is so depressing. No, I mustn't lose hearts. I have to stay strong and face my fate head on. What's going to happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience. 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want from me? Eurydice wipes away her tears. She didn't say, but we think she intends to personally congratulate you on the new role. I hope this Empress is nice. Alright. I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elisha requested to check on you as soon as he woke up. Check on me? With his light magic. He wants to see if your mind and body are alright after being touched by God's grace. Could Elisha, with his, light magic, could he tell that, like, our soul isn't, Celeste's original soul? Could he tell something like that? Is he that mystery character that knows more than he's letting on? Could equally be the prince too. I'm feeling okay, but I suppose I shouldn't turn away a member of the church. Not complying with their wishes might be dangerous now that I'm somewhat a part of their organization. The reality is so overwhelming that I would really prefer to be alone now. But there's no time for me to mull over what has happened. The chance to break down will come later, after everyone goes to sleep. Okay, you can tell the High Priest I will see him. I just saw this and I'm thinking, Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. I'll bring him here. Levy turns around and walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. Everything's gonna be okay. I hope so too. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. This is probably just me, like... Will Eurydice die at some point? I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. I should use this opportunity to ask Eurydice some questions about my situation. I'll just have to be careful about how I broach the topics. I don't want to reveal my jumbled knowledge about the world. Alright. This seems like the most important question for the moment. What exactly does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? The Saint is the fourth most important person in the Lokari Empire, after the Empress, her Emperor Consort, and the Crown Prince. You're on par with the head of the church, the High Priest. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priest or priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you'd like. You're not sworn like the clergy to only marry within the church. I remember the subplot regarding Elijah. He wouldn't be able to be with Lovey because Elijah is only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love, a popular trope. Marriage. That feels so far away. We're 18 now, so Father will probably help us find a suitable suitor soon. I would like to marry for love, if at all possible. Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levia knows love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was the Saintess? I hope I'll have enough time if that's really necessary. I'm not someone who falls in love easily. Do you have someone in mind for marriage? What? Maybe? You can tell me. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it yet. Is it Levy? I think it might be Levy. I chuckle. Eurydice is adorable when she's shy. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? As the High Priest said, the Golden Bow was created by the blessed blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. They said he worked tirelessly day in and day out for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the Light of God himself, or God of Lights himself. the blessed blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the golden bow will choose its saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness its power. What Eurydice tells me aligns with the backstory I already know from the novel. But it's good to be reminded about the details. I listen intently. What kind of power does the golden bow have? Light line magic. The kind that priests wield. It is said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen. The usual fantasy world MacGuffin then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. What if we made the Demon Queen our friend? Or is she like... Is that not possible? Right, makes sense. It doesn't. But Eurydice doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is to not... that only one weapon wielded by one special person can kill the enemy that the Empire's been fighting against for decades. You know, that would suck. To have like some kind of a force terrorize the world and have to depend on fates to one random day choose some random person to save you. Oh. After the Golden Bow was created, the whole Lakari Empire and our allied kingdom of Durandal were tested to see if the saint was among them. But the savior wasn't found. Later, it was decided that every person would be tested on their 18th birthday, as suggested by the blessed blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found, until now. It feels so random that I was actually chosen as a saint. But it's my reality now. This fold seems to operate on book logic anyway. Let's see, ask about the Demon Queen? Yes. I wanna know what she's like. What do we know about the Demon Queen? The people who have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. But she's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons, vile monstrosities. You saw one. Was it as ugly as they say? I would say so, yes. But you know, when it comes to like these types of stories, I do wonder, is the side of the demon king or queen actually like have a legit reason for trying to take over? That the people on the Empire side haven't bothered to look into? Like, in some stories, you read things of where the reason behind why they're trying to take over is because like there has been like a because like their people are starving and like they don't have enough land, or the land they were given as like a truce is like barren. And like, you know, actually reasons that like make sense and aren't just like, oh, we're evil, we're gonna take over. So I do always wonder, is there like a legit reason for them to be doing what they're doing? The imp wasn't pretty, but that's for sure. The war has been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, 1/3 of the Lokari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruin behind when they take over a town. Their fire is said to be ever burning. You'll have to travel east to defeat Demon Queen. She's taken up residence in the Claumund Castle. It used to be the seat of Duke Claumund and his family, but they had to abandon their homeland to the demons 10 years ago. I feel like we'll probably meet someone from the Claumund family at some point. That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy. I fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once the Saintess, or Saint or Saintess, was found, they would immediately embark on the quest to defeat Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters. A quest, huh? Sounds like a story from a role-playing game. Not that I expect anything else from this book world. Levy went on this quest as a saint, after all. I just hope you won't have to leave too soon. I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and accept the whole situation. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Do you think they would understand, though? I mean, I hope they give us time. But the Empress could easily just, like, send us on our way, and we'll have to learn, like, as we travel. Those are all the questions I have for now, at least. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. Eurydice gives me a bright smile. That's what I'm here for. One thing's certain. The people of the Lokari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put into your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you. Thank you. I'm really moved by Eurydice's dedication to me. Elijah's here. There's a knock on the door. Then Levy's voice can be heard from the other side. High Priest Elijah and Count Dequaris have arrived. They can enter. Elijah comes into the room, followed by Father. No, is Father still gonna be, like, pissed at us? Or is he gonna be, like, proud that we're the, like, nation's, savior? I could see him still being, like, pissed off and not, you know, going that route. Elisha comes into the room, followed by Father. Levy closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. The High Priest bears a friendly smile. Father, on the other hand, wears his usual scowl on his face. He seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition toward Celeste hasn't changed, even in the middle of such life-changing situation. Yep. What does Celeste have to do for her father to show her affection? If I had any hope that he would be proud of me now, that I had suddenly advanced to a great position in the hierarchy of the Empire, it evaporates now. I decide not to say anything to Father while Elijah is around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right now. May I sit beside you? Sure. Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that alright? Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the High Priest in the book. Oh, that's suspicious. Come to think of it... Oh, that would be why. Because he didn't have to come anyway. Come to think of it, Levy didn't faint after touching the golden bow. He must have a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. No. I think I'm pretty sure that the reason we had that reaction to the bow is because we're not from here. Like, the way it combined with our soul probably had, like, gave it, like, difficulties. Celeste doesn't know much about magic either. She has no magical power of her own, after all. Nobody in the DeQuar's family does. If Elijah says he hasn't touched me for his magic to work, though, I doubt he's lying. I look at him. He stares back at me with a patient smile. The High Priest is really attractive. I never thought I would find a guy with pink hair dashing, but he must have the longest lashes I've ever seen on a man. I probably played way too many games. Or specifically, way too many, like, yandere type games. Because the way he looks, the kindness in his face, it's too angelic, it's too nice. I don't believe it. I'm very skeptical. I blush, realizing I'm checking Elijah out. He's a priest, for heaven's sake. Eurydice just reminded me that he can only marry within the clergy. He's off limits. Besides, he only wants to touch me to make sure I'm okay. Stupid hormones. I clear my throat, though I can do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. Alright, go ahead. Aww. This is a cute CG. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. I close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I feel strangely comforted. Before I realize what I'm doing, I lean in closer toward him. Oh gosh. Elijah's chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his magic. I'm kind of glad Levy isn't in the room, because I feel like he would be, discomforted by this. Disheartened.
Light magic does have a good feel, doesn't it?
There's a twinkle in his eye, and a confident smirk on his face. Is he flirting with me? Embarrassed, I pull away. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the Golden Bow's magic has entered her body. She's a Saintess. Father lets out a heavy sigh. I hope you won't embarrass me. Great talk, Dad. Thanks for the congratulations. I glare at him, pursing my lips. I want to call him out on his unkind behavior, but I stop myself. I turn back to Elijah instead. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. Only 2 hours remain until Celeste has to attend the audience with her Empress. Yes. We should go and let Sister prepare for seeing the Empress. I want to keep talking with Elijah. If anyone can explain to me more about the Golden Bow's magic, it's him. Unfortunately, now is not the right time. Father rings the bell. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway. Make Celeste presentable for the meeting with the Empress and Emperor consorts. Yes, my lord. Everyone says their goodbyes to me, and they leave me alone with my maid. I follow a step behind Father. We step through the corridors of the palace to the throne room where the Empress and the Emperor consort were waiting for us. I just had a little theory for something about the maid. It's probably wrong. This is probably just coincidence. But what if she's actually a demon? I saw the little bows, and maybe they're just bows, maybe they're nothing. But for a second when I was changing scenes, they reminded me of little demon horns. So it could be absolutely nothing, and I'm just like making things up. Yes. I follow a step behind Father. We walk through the corridors of the palace to the throne room where the Empress and the Emperor consorts are waiting for us. As I watch Father's back, I feel Celeste's resentment for him resurface. No, resentment isn't a strong enough term to describe her feeling. Celeste hates her father. Not without reason either. What he's done to her over the years is something I could only describe as pure abuse. He's belittled her constantly, both in public and in private. His favorite title for her is No Good Daughter. So mean. He has always made her feel like she is less than Eurydice, unworthy of his praise. The only time he ever puts his attention away from Eurydice is when Celeste misbehaves. No, if Celeste and Eurydice didn't look so much alike, I would say, or well, I would have the theory that maybe it's a situation where the reason he holds this dislike, being a light word to use, towards us is because we're not actually his daughter. But like I said, we look too much like Eurydice for that to be the issue. But I mean, unless it's a sister. I mean, it still could be. If our mother had a twin sister, and we're the daughter of the twin sister, and the father didn't like twin sister. I don't know. The only time he ever pulls his attention away from Eurydice is when Celeste misbehaves. Celeste's mother died when the two girls were young. Celeste has no memory of her, and no one to shield her from her father's wrath. Maybe that situation is why Celeste is always out hunting or horseback riding, taking herself far away from father and her duties as a noble lady. And Levy? He has watched Celeste suffer at father's hand. I have a memory of him standing up for his love, and father having him flogged for it. Jeez! After that event, Celeste forbade her knight to ever act in her defense again, in front of her father. Levy protested, but Celeste insisted, using her authority as a noble lady to make him agree. I completely understand that. I would probably do the same. Jeez, our dad's an ass. In the years that followed, they both suffered. Celeste from her father's abuse, and Levy watching his love in pain. How could I not hate Celeste's father for being this disgusting behavior? A pang of loneliness shoots through my heart. My parents never abused me, but I wasn't from a picture-perfect family either. There was a lot of fighting between mom and dad before they finally divorced. I was 14 when they parted ways, and I have a lot of trouble accepting that the situation wasn't my fault. I tried to help them fix their broken relationship before their divorce, but they didn't believe their marriage was worth saving. Eventually, everything fell apart, regardless of my efforts. Ever since then, I've had trouble trusting anybody enough to fall in love. I have had boyfriends in high school, but he broke up with me because I was too cold and emotionless toward him. His exact words. Ouch. At the time, I just didn't know how to show love, or if I could even be open about my deep feelings for him at that early stage in our relationship. Both Celeste and Celine have their own baggage. Still, I was finding it very hard not to talk back to father whenever he was rude to me. You know, could we use our, new authority to, like, I don't know. I don't know, just like... go against father? I guess, yeah. Like, could we use our authority? Do we have authority now? I mean, they said that we had a higher position, I think below Empress, Emperor Consorts, and High Priest. But that would still be above Noble, right? So couldn't we, like, I don't know, tell him what to do? Or, like, disobey his orders and have him punished if he punishes us? Celeste had long since given up on the relationship, and simply chose to ignore his outbursts. But letting someone belittle me wasn't my style. I realized father had stopped walking when I almost bumped into him, stopping just in time to avoid the collision. A High Priest Elijah. Hello again, Saintess. Count Aquarius. Elijah nods at us with a soft smile, ignoring Levy's presence, of course. Knights in the Lokari Empire are just guards to their nobles. Elijah doesn't think much about Levy in this reality. Levy is not the saint after all. I decided to join you during your audience. We're happy to have you. Are you ready to enter? I'm not, But then again, I'm not sure if I ever will be. Father nods in response to Elijah's words before I can protest. Let's enter. The guards in front of the throne room entrance open the door, and Father and Elijah enter the hall. I turn to Levy. Now more than ever, I need the support of someone who I know cares for me. Even if Levy won't be allowed to say anything during the audience, I want him present at my side. Come in with me. You'll only be able to stay by the door, but I want you to be there for this conversation. All right. I enter the throne room as well now, Levy following behind me. The Empress is sitting on her throne, and the Emperor Consort is lounging in a chair smaller to hers than next to her. In a smaller chair next to her. I tried to save that, but I failed. Empress Muriel is as radiant in person as she is in Celeste's memories. Wearing a golden gown, she is the son of the Lokari Empire. Her husband, Emperor Consort Lucius, comes from our allied country, Durandal. He's called the Moon of the Lokari Empire. When the Empress sees us approach, she gives us a bright smile. At last, the prophesied Saintess stands before me in the flesh. I smile and make my best attempt at a curtsy, following Celeste's memory. The wince on Father's face tells me I failed to move properly. For some reason, I find his expression funny. I cover my mouth so that nobody can see me smirk. If I embarrass Father in front of the Empress, I can't say it would be enjoyable. Father and Elijah make smooth bows. Thank you for the chance to have an audience with you, Your Grace. Grace be in your presence again, O radiant lady. Of course. How could I not gaze upon the chosen heroine with my own eyes? The Empire has been awaiting her for over 20 years. Though I'm surprised your daughter is the one who turned out to be the Saintess Count Alaric? Alaric. Do they, know each other? A nervous chuckle escapes Father's lips. She's always been good with a bow. So I've heard. Your daughter doesn't act much like a noble lady, does she? She does have a reputation for enjoying quite boyish activities. Father's face turns beet red. He's embarrassed because of me. I realize I shouldn't let myself be too happy about the situation, though. There's too much at stake. I can't ignore the fact that as the Saintess, I have an important role to uphold in the Lokari Empire. As Irides explained to me, I'm the fourth most important person in the hierarchy now, so okay, we are. No pressure. It seems the Empress finds me lacking as well, and having her, out of all people, displeased with me is not good. I remember Noah's plotline from the novel. The Empress sends him on the quest with Levy to defeat the Demon Queen, even though Noah is the heir to the throne. Or so he should be, being Empress Muriel's firstborn. However, the monarch is the very controlling person. She doesn't want to give up the power of her throne to anybody, though she hopes to continue ruling through her child once she abdicates. Due to the law of the Lokari Empire, A person can only rule for 40 years before they have to pass the role on to another. Or at least they have a limit. Although 40 is quite a long time. The Empress is aging, but based on what I know from the novel, her hunger for power over the years has only grown stronger. She wants to keep her influence over the politics of the Empire. However, Noah, her heir, isn't someone who can be easily controlled. The Empress has a second son, however, 10-year-old Mateo, whom she's raising to be completely obedient and reliant on her own opinions. Of course. I had a feeling there was a brother somewhere in the mix there, and that was why she sent Noah off. She only sends Noah on the mission because she hopes he will die, so she can establish Mateo as her new heir. She can't pronounce someone else the crown prince until Noah is gone. Someone as ruthless as the Empress is definitely not a good enemy to have. Yeah, I've read various novels where the either illegitimate prince or the prince that doesn't obey orders is sent to the battlefield in hopes they die. And even one where the heroine kind of held that kind of spot, sent to the battlefield. Seems to be the solution. A very cruel solution. It's known that Count Aquarius has 2 daughters. The one who's a perfect image of a noble lady, and the one who's a tomboy. I suppose the girl that stands before us, although dressed in finery, is not much of a proper noble. We were never meant for this life in the first place. Can I just go now? Silence falls in the room. Everyone looks at me, expecting me to answer. Under the sudden attention, my mouth is dry, and I can't find my words. They don't know much about Celeste, but rumors precede her. They have already judged her. Me. Why did I think I would be suddenly given respect by becoming the Saintess when Celeste's questionable reputation has been spreading for years? In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. After all, I have no idea how to curtsy or properly use utensils, or dance like a noble lady. Since Celeste's skills didn't directly transfer over to me, if she really had been a perfect lady, I would have suddenly looked like an imposter. Still, I don't want the Empress to think I'm worthless as a Saintess too. If she deems me inadequate like Father does, will she try to get rid of me so the Golden Bow can choose another saint? I feel like that would be a horrible idea, because for all she knows, she might have to wait another 40 years? Or was it 20? Either way. I don't think she has a very forgiving personality, judging by how much she hates her own son. Which, speaking of... Just when I gather my words to speak, the door to the throne room bursts open. Speak of the devil. A well-posed, tall, blonde man enters the room in a dramatic fashion, his cloak waving behind him in a sudden draft of air. He is Noah, Levy's love interest in the book. He's one of the most handsome guys I've ever seen, next to Levy and Elijah. His skin is darker than most Lokari Empire nobles. The current Emperor Consort is not Noah's father, but the previous consort was also from our allied country Durandal, which happens to be in the south. The Durandi are known for having darker complexions. Noah's looks are a mixture of aspects from both of his parents. When he spots me, a smirk appears on his face. His red eyes shine with mischief. You know, I wonder if his father was murdered. Or even if the current consorts like knew the father and killed him to take his place. Wouldn't be the first time.
Knock, knock. Did I miss anything?
Fashionably late as always, my son.
If I missed nothing, there was nothing to miss. This is the Saintess, right? Count Decoris is a tomboy dog.
I hold back a groan. Even Noah knows about Celeste's reputation.
Yes, that's me.
You're good at archery, are you not? Better than you are at etiquette, at the very least.
I'm trying to decide if I should take that as a insult.
Yes, I'm quite good with the bow.
Probably not as good as Celeste, though. I presume, judging by her renowned reputation. At least I'm still good enough to shoot arrows with decent accuracy. I just need a bit of practice more, and to remember everything I learned in middle school.
Quite. Then you'll be perfect for the role of the Saintess.
How can you say that? If a lacking individual takes up such a high role in the hierarchy of the Empire...
Like, do you want this empire saved or not? That is the true question here. Like, at least take a chance on us. If we fail, and you can get the bow back and try again.
All the Saintess needs to do is shoot the golden bow and hit the Demon Queen straight in the heart. Then the war will finally be over.
I feel like it's not as easy as that. I feel like we're gonna need to practice. We're really gonna need to practice. So I feel like aiming straight for the heart isn't easy.
Is that how it should be?
I'm gonna hit their knee instead.
Wants peace more than anything else.
That's a lie. With the army of fighting at the war front, the Empress feels more secure in her rule here in the capital. Okay. Never mind then. Do you question God's will, Empress? It is the Lord who has chosen Lady Celeste to be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. While Celeste may be lacking in some other areas, she asserts she's great at archery, and her reputation confirms her words. Right, Mother. So you shouldn't worry. Lady Dequaris will make an excellent Saintess. I wish I could share the faith these two have in me. Still, I have to maintain a confident front. So I put on my brightest smile. Please don't worry about anything, Your Grace. I'll defeat the Demon Queen and bring peace to the Empire. Empress Muriel gives me a long look. After a moment, the confident smirk that Noah inherited from her is back on her face. Excellent. Then there's no stopping us from proceeding with the mission to defeat the Demon Queen, is there? Maybe she's the true Demon Queen. Now, maybe she is the Demon Queen, and the Demon Queen actually, what's the word? Took up the place of the actual Empress. Like, maybe they have, like, a power to, like, disguise themselves. It's like was sent on a wild goose chase. Noah, you will be the one leading the Saintess' quest. Noah's eyes widen. He opens his mouth, then closes it. But You will lead the Saintess' quest, and you will take the 20 best men from the Palace Guard, the Mage's Tower, and the church to accompany you. And you will leave in a month. Well, at least it's not tomorrow. In a month? So soon? Shock makes my heart beat erratic. With my current archery skills, I'm nowhere near ready enough to defeat a powerful enemy so soon. Is there a problem? You said you're great at using the bow, and that's all you need to be a successful saint, right? The Empress has already turned the tables on me. I can't deny her words, and neither can Noah. After all, we're the ones who just made those claims to her. I simply thought we'd have more time to prepare. There is no more time. Not with the Demon Queen's army closing in more and more on the capital in recent years. I think the Saintess and you are ready enough. But do you question the Empress's judgment? The Emperor and Noah glare at each other. Noah doesn't respond. He finally just turns around and walks toward the door. Noah, you will prepare for the quest and depart in a month. As you wish, Your Grace. He's going off to his room to sulk now. If it's not too much to ask, I want to accompany the Saintess and the Prince on their quest. Elijah's request surprises me for a moment, until I remember that he wanted to join the mission when Levy was the Saint as well. Are you sure, High Priest? You will be leaving your office behind for 2 months. Why 2 months? Are they... Do we have a time? We have a due date? That's kind of harsh. Defeating a demon lord isn't easy, you know? Sometimes it takes years. Yes, I'm sure. I'll take Gareth with me as well. Meredith can manage running the office on her own. I'll appoint some people to help her with the paperwork. The Saintess' quest will be a historic moment in the life of the Lokari Empire. I won't want to miss witnessing the Saintess' defeats of the Demon Queen. He has strange tastes, but with Elijah's light magic, our success will be easier. I don't protest. We'll need all the help we can get. Alright. You may go as well. Thank you, Your Grace. I will organize a ball to celebrate the finding of the Saintess tomorrow evening. Be sure to attend, all of you. We all reply we'll be there, and after some final departing words, we're dismissed. I wonder if I ever get to see what she looks like. After the audience, I ask everyone to give me some time alone. I'm too overwhelmed by the recent events. I need some time to think. And the July update? Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. I take a sheet of paper and a quill, and I begin to scribble down my thoughts. I survived my death events. The demon attack in the woods near the Dequaris mansion. That's why Levy is likely to continue and love Celeste, and not become interested in anyone else. Empress and Duke George will be updated? Alright. So we'll be able to see a new design for, the Duke. And find out what the Empress looks like. Except I'm not really the Celeste he loves. I have her memories and a portion of her skills, but I'm basically Celine in Celeste's body. I'm not just Celeste recollecting her past life. Instead, I, Celine, have taken over Celeste's body at a pivotal moment in her current life. Does that mean Celeste is dead? That's a good question. I guess the answer to that question doesn't really matter. Though the thought of her passing is sad. I'm not a Saintess of the Golden Bow. A hero the whole Lucari Empire has been awaiting for years. Yet, Levy was supposed to take on that role. Levy has been training to protect Celeste all his life. He's way more skilled at archery than I am. I have a month to train myself to use the bow properly. Not just any bow though, the golden bow, which seems more ornamental than practical. Yep, and like I said, where's the handle? No, it's there, but... If I held that, I'd be like, wait, which way is up? Which way's down? Wielding that weapon will be a pain in the ass. What were the two components needed to defeat the Demon Queen again? The first one was firing an arrow imbued with the golden bow's light magic at the Demon Queen's hearts and actually hitting the targets. So I need to practice both archery and accessing the bow's power. As someone who comes from Earth, I have no idea how to wield magic. The very concept of magical power coursing through my body is foreign to me. I suppose training with the bow would just take some time, though I have little to spare. As for wielding this magic, that's something Elijah will know more about, given that he's a light magic user. I scribbled down that I need to talk to Elijah about the golden bow and its magic. Know thy enemy, they say. And right now, my enemy, until I master it, is that bow. There is also a second component to defeating the Demon Queen. One that follows a story trope more than practical logic. Noah and Levy's love makes the magic of the golden bow grow stronger. How was that possible? I have no idea. Would Noah and Levy being in love now still solve this problem? No, it's gonna have to be us. Regardless, the two of them falling in love now is not gonna happen. Levy is still hung up on Celeste. He won't give up Noah. He won't give Noah a second look. Can we, like, push them together? Just, like, at every chance we get to leave them alone together and hope for the best. Meanwhile, the real Celeste is technically dead. She never returned Lovey's feelings anyway, and as for myself, I can't imagine falling in love with someone in a month. Love is such a difficult topic for me. I don't trust or fall in love easily. I'm so screwed. I'm scared. This situation isn't just a story in a book anymore. It's my reality. Levy, Elijah, Noah, Eurydice, Father, the Empress, they're all real people. They aren't acting according to a script either. The plot of the book has changed. It's a real world now, with unpredictable consequences. And I'm at the center of the story. Levy dies at the end of the book, despite defeating the Demon Queen, despite Noah's love for him. Will I die again too? Or will that aspect of the story change as well? No, I can't give up. I must change reality and my fates. It's not like me to mope around and feel defeated. I'm a master of my own destiny. If I have to fall in love with someone, who should it be? Levy, who blindly adores his lady? Noah, who has been burdened with leading the mission to defeat the Demon Queen? Elijah, who is a priest and can't marry someone unless they're part of the church? Or should I pick someone else entirely? I at least have to admit that all three of them are handsome men. I just hope my own baggage isn't gonna drag me down too much. Will I turn cold and detached if I enter into a relationship with any of them? Just like I did toward my ex? Can someone like me even make a guy fall in love with her within a month? My heart is beating so quickly. Now that I realize what's really at stake and what I have to do, I'm terrified. I lie down in bed and hide my face against my pillow. Tears stream down my cheeks, soaking the material. For the first time since reincarnating, I give in to all the emotions that have built up inside me. I'm just one young girl. How can I carry so many heavy burdens? Eventually, I cry myself to sleep. I toss and turn all night, though, unable to get any real rest until nearly dawn. The next evening, Linda gets me all dolled up for the grand ball the Empress is throwing in my name. Pretty. Oh, look at them! Look at them all fancy. They have a huge gemstone in their doorway. Way to shout you're rich. At the ball, I find myself sitting at the table, staring at the silverware I have no idea how to properly use. Celeste's memories aren't helping much. The servant puts a salad in front of me, and I pick up one of the forks. You know, I only know bare minimum of how to use, like, fancy tableware. I know that the small fork is the salad fork. The big fork is the fork for the main dish. I think there might be a small spoon that's for, like, desserts. And, like, the bigger spoon is for, like, soup. And I don't know. The knife's a knife, so... There's an offended gasp from my left. I look at the noble lady sitting next to me. She's almost purple in the face, staring down at the fork I'm holding. I'm just joking. Wrong piece of cutlery, then. I put it down and take another in my hand. I steal a sideways glance at the noble lady. She doesn't seem to be offended anymore. This must be the right fork, then. When everyone starts eating, I dig into the salad too, but it tastes like paper to me. I'm nervous. My hands are clammy. So you've become the Saintess, Lady Dequaris. Oh, this is George. Okay, this is Duke George. What did I think the other... Okay. The man to my right, Duke George, is if Celeste's memory serves me correctly, strikes up a conversation with me. He's a young duke and a powerful player on the battlefield of the Lokari Empire's politics. I'll have to do my best not to say or do anything strange. Yes, despite my surprise, the Golden Bow has chosen me. Now that you carry such an important role, do you plan to improve your knowledge of etiquette? He points at my salad. Oh, come on, what am I doing wrong this time? I'm not gonna lie, I do the same. No. Yes. Not really. Look, I'm taking care of the Demon Queen. That should be enough for you all. The Duke smiles, but his expression isn't unkind. You have no idea what you're doing wrong, do you? I don't. May I? He extends his hand to me, and when I don't protest, he touches my hand gently to modify the way I'm holding the fork. Oh, come on, George. You're spoiling the fun. The lady to my left has a cruel smile on her face. Shoots. I really was eating salad wrong after all. My cheeks heat up from embarrassment, and suddenly I find it hard to breathe. For every kind person like Duke George, there's a cruel one like the lady here, a vulture, just waiting for me to make a mistake. Now that I'm the Saintess, I will be watched even more closely than Celeste was as a mere count's daughter. They're all gonna be laughing for weeks about the way I ate the stupid salad. I just know it. That does sound like a high society type of gossip thing. Which actually, like, from our perspective, sounds absolutely stupid. Celeste's memory tells me that this incident won't be the first one she's ruined her reputation with in a stupid mistake either. Handed a paper bag and instructed to take deep breaths. Excuse me. I can't be here anymore. I have to get some fresh air or else I'll hyperventilate. Need that paper bag. Although I don't think paper bags exist here. Unfortunately. Are you okay? Duke George calls after me, but I walk quickly to the terrace. Ah, burlap sack. I guess that'll work. Once I'm away from the throne room, I run into the gardens. I stop only when I reach a small lake. Here, I put my arm around my frame, trying to control my breathing. Breathe, Celeste. In and out. In and out. Or Celine. Don't cry, don't cry. You'll ruin the makeup Linda spent hours putting on you to make you look like a real noble lady. Didn't think I'd run into you here? I turn around when I hear the voice. It's Noah. He's drawn his sword, and his usual mocking demeanor is not present. He's completely serious when he suddenly puts his sword against my throat. What do we do? Was it the salad fork? Did that give us away? It was the salad fork, wasn't it? My heart beats so loudly that it feels like it could jump out of my chest this time from fear. That's what this reminded me of. I was trying to think of what the scene reminded me of, and it reminded me of that one CG from Hakuoki. There's a scene like this in there too, them holding the sword to the MC's throat. Like, yes. Which actually, that's coming out, I think, in August 1st. I have it pre-ordered. I'm excited to play it again. Oh, yes. I remember that. But I love the way I kind of love the CG. Not, just because of this, but also, the way the night sky looks in the clouds. Oh wait, no, those are trees. But there are clouds too, yeah. It's very pretty. It's just an overall pretty CG. My heart beats so loudly that it feels like it could jump out of my chest, this time from fear. Does Noah want to kill me?
I wish I could just kill you and be done with it.
And what would that solve? He does? But why? Suddenly, I remember the scene. I fangirled over it when I was reading the novel. This is the scene where Noah puts his sword to Levy's throat. An overly dramatic, and most of the readers of the novel read it as a romantic interaction. We talked about the event for hours on the web novel's forum. But now, I think this setup is just ridiculous. I could take a step back at any time from the coldness of the steel, and my neck would be just fine. I give Noah a long stare. He's looking at me seriously, as if he's really pondering if he should harm me. I don't believe he actually will. I will entertain his antics for a while longer, just to see what he has to say. I want to know how much this scene changes with me here instead of Levy.
Why do you want me dead?
Because you're the reason I have to go on the mission to kill the Demon Queen. And so soon.
Did he have, plans to go to a concert or something? I mean, I guess if he did kill us and they waited for another saint to appear, it could be 40 years, and he theoretically could be able to never have to participate. So in that sense, I guess it would be logical to kill us if he didn't want to do this. But wouldn't you rather just live in a world free of the Demon Queen and her minions' cruelty? Yeah.
If anybody less capable than you had been chosen as the Saintess, Mother wouldn't have told us to leave within a mere month.
I'm glad he thinks so highly of my archery skills, especially considering how little the nobles think of etiquette skills. But he's wrong.
I may not be as great at archery as you think.
I feel like this feels like a... I feel like we should be saying we are good, not that we aren't good. But I guess I think he thinks that we're like better than him now. That we're like the Saintess or something.
That fact would change nothing at this point. Mother is now convinced you can defeat the fiend. This is a suicide mission. None of us will come back from the quest.
Even though I remember this line from the book, my eyes widen.
How do you know we won't return?
Needs to have a little faith. His words almost feel oddly like foreshadowing for what happens in the book. Noah seems to seriously believe what he's saying.
20 people going deep into demon-ravaged lands to enter the Demon Queen's castle and kill her. What could possibly go wrong?
Noah, I know you don't have web novels in your world, but a lot of them, there's only 5 people going to kill the Demon King or Queen. So 20 is a good number. Unless they're crap at fighting, then maybe not. He's really convinced we're gonna die on this quest. I can see the desperation in his eyes.
Can't you convince your mother this will motivate we leave? Or to increase the amount of people we can bring with us?
I've already tried. She doesn't want to listen. It's almost as if she wants to set us up for failure.
Oh, Noah, you're closer to the truth than you think. I can't tell him anything about his mother's plan to get rid of him. He would just grow suspicious if I, someone he barely knows, spouted such an important piece of information about his life. I should only tell him what's really going on with the Empress when, or if, we become friends during the quest.
Look, I'm afraid of the mission too. But I don't want to give up. I won't just roll over and die. I'll keep fighting until the very end. No matter how the mission ends, I want to be sure I've done everything I can to fulfill my role properly.
Noah's eyes widen.
You're right. I can't just give up.
Yes, you need to, stick it to your mom's face. Say, hey, bitch, I survived. Wouldn't that be, the ultimate win? I think it would be. But about the 20 soldiers or 20 people coming with us, just to make sure, we make it through this, I think we need to hold a training camp and push them to their limits and make them stronger. And then we'll be ready. I must also see the mission through to the end. I must... no, I want to live. I just died. Yeah, I'm sure you'll do great on the quest. I'm sure you'll do great on the quest. I hear you're a great fighter. Rumor has it you're difficult to talk to and don't have very good social skills. All I see here is a composed young lady who can compliment others. You're a mystery, Saintess. Uh-oh. I must be careful about what I say to others. I don't want to break my character as Celeste too much. One thing's for sure. I don't want you to die, Your Grace. Just Noah is fine. We're teammates now, I suppose. I like the sound of that. Noah smiles back. He seems much more relaxed now. I'll continue trying to get Mother to delay the deadline for us to leave. Yeah. I would appreciate more time to train. Right. Time to go back to the ball, then. Without sparing me another glance, Noah walks past me toward the terrace. I watch him until he disappears between the carefully trimmed bushes of the palace garden. I look out at the water of the lake and take a few deep breaths. I really hadn't expected Levy's scene with Noah to play out for me. I also didn't respond like Levy did. Our encounter didn't turn romantic at all. Yet, my heart is beating quickly regardless because I'm still scared about so many things. The stress is catching up to me. I fall to my knees on the soft grass. I can't hold back my tears any longer. In the end, I'm just a girl caught up in so many responsibilities. I'm tired, I'm terrified. I want it all to stop. No matter how much I cry, though, this new reality won't magically change for me. I'm still Celeste, and I'm still the Saintess. The sooner I accept my fate and put my energy into a few things I can still change, the better. With renewed purpose, I get up and start walking back to my room. Screw the ball. I'm not going back there only to be ridiculed further. Also, we can't dance, so, no point. Because I don't know about you. I have high feeling that Celine does not know ballroom dancing, and since Celeste, she probably isn't too great at it either. So let's not go make a fool of ourselves. I just want to go back to my room, read some webtoons. Now, I'm sure they have romance novels in this world. I don't want the whole imperial court to continue watching how terrible I am at being a noble lady. If I had more time before the quest, I would take lessons to get better at etiquette. However, with the way the situation has unfolded, I have to focus only on improving my archery and horseback riding skills. Ah, they do. Ah, is that the book collection I saw in the background? In our bedroom? I bet Yuri's threw a bunch of books in there for us. Besides, the future of the Empire doesn't depend on me knowing which fork to use for a salad. But it certainly does hang on me using the golden bow properly.
Exactly.
I'm walking down the corridor towards the apartment where my family is staying when I hear someone running behind me. It's Levy. Celeste! Levy calls me by my first name, like he always does when it's just him and Celeste. It's something the two of them agreed to do when they were younger. Levy stops before me and looks me up and down. Where have you been? I didn't notice when you left the throne room. You're not supposed to go anywhere without me. Father's orders, I know. I just forgot. I realize I hadn't been thinking about how Levy would feel if I suddenly disappeared. Yet again. I'm not concerned about failing to follow his orders. I'm genuinely worried about you. He blushes and looks away. My heartbeat quickens. Why though? Celeste has no romantic feelings toward Levy. But do I? I must admit, he's very handsome and kind. And he's my favorite character from the book. Am I that much of a simp? Yes. I let out a long sigh. Levy looks back at me with a worried expression, when he looks me up and down again. You're alright, are you not? He focuses on my face and frowns. You've been crying? He must have noticed my smudged makeup. Yeah. Our makeup's given us away. There's no point in lying. I was, but I feel better now. What made you cry? You know, maybe just that the fate of the world is on my shoulders. Nothing much. When I see the sincere worry on Levy's face, I want to tell him the truth. I'm just overwhelmed by suddenly becoming the Saintess, by having to carry the burden of saving the whole empire. I look down, tears welling up in my eyes again. Celeste. I look back up to see Levy staring at me with love and adoration. It hurts being on the receiving end of such feelings, knowing that they aren't really for me. Oh yeah, that's actually, like, a really good point. That's something I forgot. Because, you know, naturally you'd feel like they think you're someone else. So if you begin to love them, and they begin to love you, a part of you feels like they don't truly love you. They love the person that they think you are. Or that you're, quote-unquote, pretending to be. No matter what happens, know that I'll always stay by your side. Aww. I'm sorry to drag you into this quest with me. He would have been caught up in this mess anyway if he were a saint. But now he's coming along anyway as Celeste's knight. What if Levy dies protecting me? My heart feels heavy. I must do my best to get as strong as possible. Don't say that. I swore to always protect you, did I not? Back when I became your knight, remember? I recall Celeste's memories of that time. They were both 14 back then, and Levy took a knee in front of her and swore he would protect her until death did them part. He made his vow with such sincerity and fervor. Yet, I'm not the one whom he swore to always be beside. That person was Celeste, so he should be free of the oath since Celeste is kind of dead. I can't tell him that, though. On the spur of the moment, I gestured towards Levy. Lean down, please. You're too tall. Too tall for what? Levy gives me a puzzled look, but complies with my request. Aww. I press up on my toes and kiss him on the cheek. Not as Celeste, but as Celine. Because I genuinely feel grateful for him, and don't know how else to express myself right now. Oh. He's gonna be so flustered. Levy blushes a deep red and gets flustered. Only when I lean back and smile at him do I realize I shouldn't be doing something so intimate to a man who loves the woman who once inhabited his body. I might be sending him the wrong message.
I'm sorry. I just...
Don't be sorry.
I let out a sigh.
Thank you, Levi.
You're welcome. But it's my job to take care of you.
He's so sweet.
Doing it just because it's your job.
Levy gives me a startled look. I turn around and start walking toward my room before he can reply. Let's go, Levy. We need a rest. Training starts tomorrow. And that's the end of the demo. So that was Saintess of the Golden Bow. Oh, I like that. Levy's so sweet. He's such a sweetheart. And hello, Silver Cloak. I enjoyed that story. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in the for release. I will say one thing about the game. I do think you could turn the voices up. The voice audio up. Because compared to the music, they did sound a bit quiet. Although I suppose I could always go to preferences and turn the music volume down, right? Yeah, that might be what's needed for that. Ah, okay. Yeah, but that's the only thing I noticed. I'm like, But overall, I enjoyed the game. Yeah. Oh, no worries, Silver Cloak. Oh, it's good to see you again. We just finished playing a new demo of an indie game called Saintess of the Golden Bow. It's one of those, you know, reincarnated into a fictional world type of games. Which, if you want to play the game yourself, anyone watching, you can find the download link here on itch.io, down at the bottom. Available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. But I can't get over the fact that in that hall, the throne room, right above the doorway, there's this huge gemstone. just because, you know. I think it might actually be Levy. I do like the look of the prince, but for, like, personality right now, I think I like Levy. But I'm sure as the story progresses, we'll get to know more about the Elijah and why am I blanking on his name? I want to call him Leon, but I feel that's not right. Noah. Yeah. Ooh. Oh wait, no, that's not the right thing. I have to move. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I tried my best. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I always worry about that. Oh, yes, yes, go to sleep. You're, I forgot when it started, it was like 2 a.m. for you, right? So we'll end this now, and I'll let you get some rest. And, anyone who's watching the VOD or the stream, go and check the game out for yourself. And support the creator. Follow them on their socials, and, give a review on the itch.io page if you decide to play it. Oh gosh, 11 a.m.? Get some sleep, woman! Alright, well, I'll see you all later. Oh yes, schedule... tomorrow we have another indie game called Ardency, Heart of the Rebellion by Lacey Digital. I'll be playing that, and I have more interview questions for that one too. So you'll be seeing Chimmy again. Hopefully it won't be as sporadic. Then Friday, I got more Twisted Wonderland. And then Saturday, we're gonna finish Delicious in Dungeon, the anime. And Sunday, we'll be playing another indie game called Daughter of a Scoundrel by Snakies. So that's what I have for my schedule for the week. So come by for any of those. Alright. Well, I'll see you all later. And I hope everyone has a good night, morning, afternoon, evening, midnight? Whatever time it is. And have a good day. Stay safe. Don't fall into any dangerous visual novel alternate dimension type things. And watch out for Chuck-kun. He's very dangerous. Alright. Bye-bye.